Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to attend this workshop. We are from the ABC Consulting Limited, and before we begin, I would like to introduce our team. Sharmi Sia, Nadine Sihora, Stephen Trottier, and Raj Sidhu, and myself, Teresa Shattenkirk. Our workshop will begin with Stephen and Raj, who will provide an outline for today's workshop.
Thanks, Teresa. So on the screen here is a brief overview of what we'll be covering today. Starting off with an introduction to our presentation, we will then be moving on to learning tools to help us with writing under pressure. After that, we will discuss collaborative content generation and how to overcome challenges while writing. Concluding the presentation, each attendee will receive a cheat sheet which provides useful information on a variety of topics that can be brought with us into the workplace to assist in collaborative writing.
Our consulting firm is here today to provide you the tools and skills that you can use to communicate collaboratively within your teams, as well as the ability to produce high-quality writing for your projects. We can show you how to write under pressure, generate better content on your projects, and overcome various challenges, a contact person for support and feedback, and the benefits you will gain once you have acquired this knowledge.
So further to that, some of the issues that we find with collaborative writing is collaborative written documents generally take longer to write and edit and revise and are a more complex process than doing it on your own. Participants may have different writing styles leading to inconsistencies, and there might be a lack of sensitivity and diplomacy, poor personal communication, and personal conflicts arising from differences in power and status, which can interfere with receptivity to each other's ideas and lead to control issues.
Writing business documents can be extremely stressful, especially when there are strict time restraints for projects and severe repercussions for not completing quality work that is delivered on time. Writing under pressure does not only relate to large projects, even daily messages such as emails can be difficult to keep up with and limit the amount of time you have to focus your efforts on more important tasks. With this said, the following 7 steps can be taken to make writing under pressure easier. Number 1 is allocate your time. Once you have received the project to complete, make sure to consider how much time you will need to put into it to make a good deliverable. If you have to reply to 20 emails per day on top of deadline-driven projects, spending 1 hour drafting an email does not make sense, as it limits the amount of time you have to complete on the work that needs to be done on a strict deadline. By ensuring that you keep mental notes of what does and does not need to be completed immediately can help you in making sure that your time is spent wisely and not wasted. Number 2, keep distractions to a minimum. Working in an office setting, we're on camera, do you want to say hi?
Oh shit, are you actually on camera?
Keeping distractions to a minimum. Working in an office setting can be extremely distracting. Things such as listening to coworkers' conversations, cell phones, and the countless distractions found on the internet can drastically reduce the amount of time you have to complete your work. By minimizing your distractions, you will find the amount of work you complete in an average day will drastically increase and you will become much more productive. Number 3, get the most out of word processing software. Technology can be incredibly helpful in helping us write under pressure. By using templates and outlines for writing projects wherever possible, the creation process becomes much simpler and the time it takes to organize information is drastically reduced. As well, the presentation of your work maintains consistency and it can be more visually appealing. Number 4, take a few seconds to plan the structure. Every document has a clear beginning, middle, and end. By beginning your project and arranging the information you need to create, it ensures your work will be organized and that you will not stray from what the deliverable needs to contain. Number 5, remember your reader. Understanding who your audience is one of the most important aspects of writing. When writing under pressure, researching exactly who will be reading your content ensures that you do not waste time creating irrelevant information that does not need to be included in your deliverable. With this said, if your audience does not have significant knowledge on the topic you are writing about, it is important to give sufficient background information. By understanding the person you are targeting, writing under pressure becomes easier as you are not wasting time writing about irrelevant topics.
Thank you for that, Stephen. And so to carry on, 6 would be go with the flow. Although it can be tempting to go at the beginning of a document and work throughout the whole end, it can actually be better to start wherever you want or whatever part is actually the easiest for you to start with. But starting with what section you prefer, you gain momentum as well as confidence in your ability to complete the project well. Taking frequent breaks can be tempting. However, it is important to stay on task and try to plan out the breaks throughout the day. That gives you something to work for, and increases productivity. Leave refinements for revision. Projects do not need to be perfect after the first draft. It is important to understand that a lot of documents are living up until the deadline, meaning that frequent revisions can be made, including peer edits, as they are very helpful as well. This is not to say that as writers we should leave projects to the very last minute. However, in some cases, your copy does not need to be finalized until the deadline. And slide 6 would be overcoming challenges by me as Raj and Teresa. Why would you want to?
So how do you decide what information will be used when you're writing? Who determines what content will go in and what won't? This can be especially difficult when collaborating with different departments, different position levels, and simply different personalities across the company. Content generation is an important aspect of all collaborative writing. Having good content will be the key to effectively communicating your message. There are a few key steps in generating your content. The first step is to be on the same page about the message, the audience, and the delivery. You then need to collect the information that is relevant to your message. This information can be from facts, research, news, statistics, history, or simply personal ideas and opinions. The information will vary depending on what the message is. Brainstorm your ideas, collectively. The brainstorming process doesn't need to be structured, it doesn't need to be organized. Just throw all your ideas out there. Write down the first thing that comes to your mind. One thing to avoid in content generation is using unnecessary jargon. Make sure at all times you're putting relevant information into your communication that will be easier for your audience. This is especially important when you're dealing with other departments. Once you've collected your information and done some brainstorming, then you need to group your ideas together. Visualize what the message you are sending out is, and then map and cluster your ideas from the information collection/brainstorming. Then ask each other questions. Question everything. Get all the uncertainties, all the things that are not clear out of the way so that you're on the same page. Ask, who are we writing this for? Why are we putting these ideas in? Is this relevant? Ask questions to clarify your point. The more clear you are on what is going into the message, the more effective your communication of the message will be.
All right, so with that, we have overcoming challenges. So why would you want to do this? Actually, 90% of business collaborative writing and professionals engage in collaborative writing. And so to be able to overcome this would be a great portion of your job. And so understanding the challenges of power and status, various kinds of logistical thinking, and non-harmonizing in the actual collective writing overall. And time constraints as individuals need to come together in a group. Knowing all these will actually ease the process overall. And then power and status create barriers of communication that can be improved by well-known effective communications that the organizational management chart, aka the department talking to the director talking to the VP, and the VPs coming together and talking to the CEO to resolve any and all issues. Knowing this will, clarify the communications in between the departments by using parallel stimulus, right? No, English today I cannot do. Different logistical thinking does not collide due to individuals actually taking snippets of the project and doing them individually so that the individuals don't have to come together, and so the time constraints don't even come in as a factor. And then the harmonizing of the voice of the collective will be put together when you actually revise it all together. So it would be a big portion of it. You'll have to allocate a lot of time for this, because the individuals will put all their individuality into those parts, but then the revision will bring it all together. And then with that, I would like to pass on to Teresa.
Thank you, Raj. In addition to what he's indicated about overcoming challenges, there's just some normal challenges that every team goes through. And this involves a lot when you're collaborating and writing as a team. Now, one example is critiquing other people's work. When you are going to act as a critique for a person, you can accomplish this by learning how to understand what that other person wants from you and what they need from you. They also want to give them. You also want to find out from them what they want from you, and also what they expect from you. As a critic, remember to provide positive and constructive feedback, but keep in mind to be diplomatic and follow the guidelines that have been set for the project as well. Being an attentive and a responsive listener goes a long, long way. And when appropriate, give your feedback in private, and defer from negative comments. And if you do need to give negative comments, please make sure that you do it in privacy, and so you avoid some embarrassment for the other party. And also avoid criticism that could lead to further responses. Sometimes we do find that our teams tend to have unclear responsibilities. So before you begin any collaborative writing, gather your team members, create a chart, determine who is responsible to complete a certain task, how is it going to be done, and when is it going to be completed. This way the team can view how the project is going and progressing, and they can also feel confident that they have been successful in completing tasks and they feel belong in the team. And sometimes we do tend to have a lack of sensitivity and diplomacy. It's another challenge. When this happens, we recommend that you choose a location where everybody can feel at home. They all speak about their challenges, ideas, and recommendations. A place where there's equal status and power helps. And if you can achieve this, everyone in the team will be receptive to each other's ideas, and they will master their ability to compromise with each other. Plus, this helps foster a spirit of cooperation that can lead to a very productive outcome. And lastly, sometimes technology can be a challenge when writing collaboratively. It helps when your team can meet at a specific date, time of the week. There's some consistency, which can be beneficial and productive for the team. This gives everyone an opportunity to provide their feedback and discuss any challenges on the project. Sometimes those circumstances arise and certain team member or members are unable to attend the meeting on site. So it's good to be able to give them the option to be able to call in, phone in, do video conferencing or webinars. And this provides a lot of flexibility for everyone, and miscommunication can be eliminated, leading to a successful project for the whole company. And
Guess I'm the last person to talk.
Last but not least.
Okay, so we're just going to touch on the conclusion. Pretty much, I'm just going to go back to what everybody said here. We're just going to touch on the benefits of collaborative writing. First of all, it encourages employees to practice active listening. This is where team members are actually able to absorb and consider their teammates' points of view. This is where they also practice attentiveness and are able to make sure that they understand each other's points before they actually respond to anything. Next would be, it actually enables upfront planning. So just going back to brainstorming and all that, it allows every team member to brainstorm, conceptualize the documents, evaluate the content of what is actually going to go into their project. It also encourages teamwork and allows time for the members to learn how to coordinate with others. Another benefit of collaborative writing is that it enhances team working skills. This is one actually an important skill that employers look for when they hire new personnel. So if you're able to work in a team, that's one vital piece of skill that they look for you. It also provides a faster output. When employees work together, it speeds up the process of being able to produce a specific outcome. So deadlines are met much faster than just by working alone. Lastly, it also gives a variety of inputs and point of views. So the different team members have different point of views, which allows, they cover a wide area of possible ideas that could round up their certain topic or what their project is about. The more information that they can give, it allows a better understanding of what the project, so it becomes a well-rounded project. Lastly, just to touch on one point, where to go when conflict arises. It is very important for employees working collaboratively to know who they have to talk to or where to go when conflicts arise. Like if everything's not going well within the group, then for example, let's say if you just want to refer back onto the cheat sheet there, if one employee from the marketing department realizes that there's a problem with a team member who works in the HR department, they could first consult with the head of their team, and if none, they can go to their director, and their director will be able to speak to the other department's director, and then from there on we can escalate and solve the problem.
Bravo, bravo, very well put together.
I don't think that